Welcome back to another exciting episode of Cyber Defense TV. I'm your host, Gary Malevsky, and the publisher of Cyber Defense Magazine. I have an amazing, very special guest sitting in the hot seat today, someone who has started in an area of cybersecurity. It's really cool to say I'm meeting someone who's created something new and innovative. Look up SOC as a service, and you're going to find Brad Taylor,
yes,
CEO of Proficio, Proficio.com.
That's us. Thank you very much.
Brad, welcome.
Thank you. It's a pleasure. Thanks,
Yeah,
Gary.
great to see you.
Thank you very much.
So SOC as a service, managed detect and response, third-party operations. I don't have to have the staff. I can just go to Proficio and hire you remotely. I mean, how does this work?
So it's a concept where most companies have some level of security operations where they have security controls. So stack, defense, and depth security, from the perimeter to the core, to the endpoint, to the cloud, but they have trouble with visibility. And so what we do is we take in log data, intelligent data, their business context information, and put it into the big data analytics engine in the cloud, which is a SIEM in today's security information and event management terminology. And then we do the important thing. SIEM is just a tool. We add use cases, we model it to their business context, and then we look for suspicious indicators that a security analyst at a security operations center will investigate, validate, enrich the data, and give them information on how to respond to that particular attack or compromise. And if we need to, we will contain that particular event as well by doing that automated or manual response action.
So years ago, you started SOC as a service, then you evolved into the MSSP model. Now you're taking people into the managed detect and response space.
Correct.
And it's remotely managed.
Correct.
This is phenomenal. Now, there's issues, there's problems, there's concerns. What's my SLA, right? My service level agreement. Who's really taking on the risk if there's a breach? I have just a few hot seat questions.
Sure.
And I know you've got the answers. And really, what's interesting to me is a lot of people think like an MSSP doesn't innovate, they just buy tools and slap them together. You're doing something very innovative. And I wonder what that is. Is it in AI? Is it in how you review logs and events? Take us through this evolution and what you do that's different and unique.
Sure. So the first thing that we wanted to focus on was accuracy. So the accuracy of what you're detecting, so that when you provide somebody with an alert escalation, they typically have to do something about it. And in security, you don't want to be chasing ghosts. So in order to get accuracy, we had to create use cases, which are questions that you ask the machine where you have all the data. And so today that can be a use case where I'm using a search. It can be a machine learning where it kind of repetitively learns information to give you a suspicious indicator. But ultimately, it's something that's different going on in the network or dangerous or a policy violation that you either automatically respond to, block that attack, contain that particular compromise so it doesn't propagate, or you do a deeper dive investigation. What really is going on? Is it a valid thing that I have to respond to, or is it just normal activity that just looks a little bit different today?
So you're off in your secured world, and you've created an environment that you can reach into organizations and help manage their security. How do you isolate? How do you quarantine? Can you be faster than the breach, or are you just alerting when the data is leaking?
Great question. So the one thing that's pretty interesting is a breach is never a single event, but you hear about it as a single event. Heartbleed caused all kinds of files to be lost at Anthem or somebody else. And what happened was there was some type of reconnaissance done, and then there was some type of an attack done initially at a lower level device, and then that compromise was propagated to multiple devices, and then there was escalated privilege in some type of protected server, and then eventually application, data, database, and then get the data and then exfiltrate it out. So there's typically about 9 to 12 steps that happen before the breach.
So that's the hacker's playbook.
And
we never talk about that.
Right, exactly. We call that the cyber kill chain.
That's the cyber kill chain.
And so in that cyber kill chain, as somebody that's doing detection, I want to be able to detect you someplace in that 1 to 12 steps before the last step, which is the breach and the data's gone. I can detect you, and then the question is, how fast can I respond and contain you into just that device, just that micro segment, just that area? And so today it's all about being able to detect quickly, being able to triage and determine what do I do about it, and then be able to respond to contain the action. So you have to be able to manage mean time to detect, mean time to contain, and mean time to remediate in your business. It's difficult enough to find the threat. It's even harder to figure out what I do about it and then measure it with metrics in today's security environment.
So it sounds like Proficio is very proficient and ahead.
We are.
Way ahead of your competitors. You're kind of trailblazing in this area of, as you said, manage, detect, and response as a service.
Mm-hmm. Right. Proficio actually means to progress. And so we're always progressing security and security landscape and capabilities for companies to detect and respond to cyber threats.
Now, do you sell direct or through channel?
Both. So we do sell direct, but we also have channel partners. Large systems integrators. We are a global entity with security operations centers in San Diego, in Singapore, and in Barcelona.
That's fantastic. So what I want to do is thank you for a great interview. And again, like I said, this is someone who has started something new. He started stock as a service years ago. Look him up. Proficio, progress. We're going to progress by going to Proficio's website, finding their local partner, or calling them directly and looking to leverage them to have a managed service play that is way beyond some of the things I've seen out there today. Check them out. Thank you for the interview, and visit us next time at Cyber Defense TV for another fantastic interview.